Let's do it. So apparently this angle does work quite well.
Don't know where to put it.
Let's turn the label away from the camera and then we'll be right to go. Even though the water inside that bottle has nothing to do with that brand.
Unfortunately, it's got cleanse on one side and balance on the other. Balance, cleanse. I don't know which is the label.
Hi everybody, Glenn and Ben here from the Good Movie Monday podcast, and Tuesday nights are reserved usually for a reaction video, and we're going to react to Jordan Peele's Nope.
Nope.
There we go, we've reacted. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
No, really. That's a big nope for me. I did not like this movie at all.
You didn't like it?
I liked components. Like, I liked a lot of what I was looking at stylistically. I think he's made a movie that looks really good. It's a very Spielbergian kind of throwback. Definitely captured a mood and a tone.
I'm a big fan of the return of Michael Wincott.
Yeah, well, that's good. And he's really good in it.
And like, did I lean over to you during the film and say, and like, I was thinking it, but I was like, surely Michael Wincott and Ted Levine should make a buddy cop movie.
Oh, totally.
Where they're late night DJs who solve crimes in their spare time.
One talks like this. One talks like this.
Candy cane, brother.
Puts walks in the basket. What else?
good.
Like, let's just start with the fact it's a very, very long movie, and everything that happens within this time frame could have been resolved in like 65, 70 minutes.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary for a movie to go longer than 70 minutes, in my opinion.
Yes. You know, I'm just like, we're watching ourselves on a little monitor here, and you're very brightly lit.
I am.
That's all right. We've changed the lighting up a bit. Might have to color grade that a little.
It's fine. I look 10 years younger. In this, I like to call this the Elvira lighting.
It's very angelic.
All my wrinkles have been washed away.
So very long movie, unnecessarily long. I thought it was a stupid movie. I really did. I didn't think there was much point to it.
I didn't really mind the idea of it. I thought it was a fine idea for a film. Look, it put me off straight away, I have to say, where the two main characters, Keke Palmer and the guy from
Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Whose name I don't know, who's British.
I know his name, but it's escaping me right now.
I can't remember his name.
It don't matter.
But they work on a horse ranch,
Yep.
and they've grown up around these horses, but neither of them, it felt like neither of them had any affection or like he keeps talking about this work that he has to do.
Well,
but with no.
Here's the interesting thing, right? Because we know Jordan Peele likes to put social commentary into his films. Very much racial, social politics, and there's not a lot of it in this film. However, he does try to educate you a little bit about the history of black people in Hollywood. They were the first horse trainers, all this kind of stuff, right? So, and that's fine. It's got its place. But the thing is, he puts these people on a ranch that are supposed to have had like generational history with this business, and they don't look like they've spent a day with a horse.
Yeah, they look very uncomfortable with the horses.
They don't feel comfortable on a ranch. Yeah. He walks through the paddocks and through the fences like it's the first time he's ever seen a farm.
Yeah.
I didn't connect with any of the relationship there between character and land.
And it gives this false impression too that they've lost. Like, they don't really care when the main horse that they've got disappears.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, it's gone. Oh.
Yeah.
And especially Keke Palmer just could not care less.
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like all the horses are gone. And then there's that scene where he walks through the barn and there's like 12 horses there. And you're like, when are these guys? I mean, he keeps, like I said, he talks about the work he has to do. You never see any of it. Like, when do they even feed? They seem to completely just neglect these animals.
It's just two of them. It's like two of them. That's a lot of work for two people to do, and there's not enough work that they're not constantly doing it. That's just it's weird.
Any other movie I've ever seen where people work on a farm,
they're shoveling hay, they're shoveling shit.
They talk about how much it's constant work.
Yeah, they're sitting on a fence, fucking exhausted, stuff like that.
And this farm, they're not doing anything.
They're not even dirty. Not to mention when they do rock up onto a film set, it's like it's the first time they've been on a film set. Yet it's supposed to be like their entire lives have been in this environment.
They've been doing this, yeah.
Go on.
So that disconnect, really took me out of the whole rest of the film.
Totally. Because there's some really cool stuff. Like there's a Mars Attacks kind of feel to it. Like and it's a science fiction film I don't want to give too much away, but there's essentially like a UFO that's in the valley that their farm exists, and we'll leave it at that. But when this UFO, when you see it, it's very Mars Attacks, and I loved watching that on screen. The cinematography was glorious.
Yeah, all
Looked
that stuff was
amazing.
great. I really liked the guy from the Best Buy type shop.
Well, I had
I
an
thought
issue
he
with
was
him
good.
too. He
Oh,
was
really?
good on screen. His character was good, but I didn't buy his his role as that clerk, because when do you ever go to like a department store, whether it's Best Buy or whatever like that, buy something and the guy that serves you is the one that delivers it?
Yeah, well,
Right?
okay.
That never happens. But then he just
Oh no, have you never seen the TV series Chuck? With the nerd herd?
But then also, like, the department store closes down and he's the only one left because he's got so much work to do. Like, his character felt just as useless in his environment as they did
odd
on
and
their
out of
farm.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked him as a character.
I did too, and I read that he convinced Jordan Peele to change his character's story in the final act for potential sequel purposes.
Right.
Yeah, so there you go. What else do we add to this? What else didn't you like, or what did you like? I like the Asian character; that was good. But speaking of the Asian character,
The guy from Walking Dead.
yeah, he runs Glenn in Walking Dead, isn't he?
Glenn
Yeah.
from Walking Dead.
He owns like a theme park in this film, but he has a backstory that makes no sense to the rest of the film. It doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you why it's there. It's a
great.
great bit.
It's the best part of the film. It's a tragedy that happened on a sitcom TV set 15 years ago.
Yeah, that he was on when he was a kid.
It's like
child actor.
it's like an Alf or Full House type of TV show.
Yeah.
And we'll let you discover it because it's glorious, and and every time they come back to it, I'm like, oh, thank God we're back in this world. But at the same time, how is this relevant?
Yeah.
It does have no purpose.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like,
Well, I guess it's just like I don't know if the relevance has to do with it's just wild animals, like who operate on their own.
yeah.
On their own, like you don't know,
Which
what
is
they're thinking.
metaphorical to other things that unfold.
Because the horse, there's a similar thing with the horse. There's a similar thing with the alien creature.
Are you saying I
Like-
haven't thought about it enough?
No, I'm just saying
you.
that's just what it's like that whole. I think were you telling me the thing about the sharks, like the sharks in the water, just doing its thing. It doesn't consider itself
Yeah.
to be a bad guy. It's just
Well, yeah, and
like living.
yeah, the thing that I don't want to tell people what this
Or is that
moment
in the
is.
movie?
I don't want to tell people what the moment is, but yeah. So, like you said, animals, they're in their environment and they see no wrong with what they're doing. They're just acting upon instinct.
They're just surviving.
Yeah.
Like they're just eating. Like
Yeah. Faces. There we go. So Jordan Peele's third film. For me, it's 2 strikes out of 3 because I liked Get Out, didn't love Get Out. I did not like Us at all, and so this one, it's better to look at than the previous 2, but I don't see myself going back to it again.
Yeah.
I don't see myself reevaluating this anytime soon.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll be interested to see what happens when the Blu-ray comes out and what I do with it.
Yeah, it's a long run
But
time.
I did enjoy.
They'll do an extended cut.
I enjoyed Get Out. I
Yep.
thought that was pretty good. I enjoyed the first quarter, I guess.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Quarter
Us,
to a third of Us, and I liked the end bit. I thought that was pretty funny, but the whole, the main stuff. I find it so odd because Jordan Peele comes from a background of sketch comedy.
Yep.
Where it's by the bit, by the premise, by the bit, in and out quick, and all his movies seem to drag.
Yeah.
Like they're always long. And you're like, why? They don't need to be this long.
No.
Why are you making it
It's
so long?
almost like he's latching onto the reputation that has been forged around him, like that's been created by the fans.
Oh, and also like he's basically in the modern era. That's what auteurs do.
He's
Tarantino,
Yeah. Yeah.
Nolan,
Yeah.
like all of that.
Celebrities. Yeah.
Those upper echelon filmmakers, which I think he is, pushing himself into.
Mm.
That's what they do. They do 3-hour films.
Yeah. It's self-indulgent as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. So you got to think of the audience when you're in the edit room, putting these things together. Like, do we need 25 minutes of nothing?
Yeah.
I would say no. Nope.
Nope.
There we go. There's our review. Nope. And he set that up, didn't he? He set that up for us critics that don't enjoy it.
But it was such a waste of a. Like, admittedly, a couple of times when because they throughout the film they do say nope a
Yep.
bit.
And organically, like it's,
Organically, yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny and everything like that. But it's not like a clever title for
No,
the film.
no.
It's not a clever theme in the film.
It doesn't.
Or anything
It
like
doesn't.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't relate to anything other than a few throwaway
Then,
lines.
yeah, it's just a weird,
Yep.
almost lazy title.
Yeah, I think maybe it's also the fact that Us really hit the spot with a lot of people because it's such a short title. Like,
But it actually makes sense in the context of the film.
yeah, totally. No, I get it. I get it. Like,
You know.
hey,
And so does Get Out, but
I-
Get Out also is also a pretty
I just did not.
lazy title for that film.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's a lot more memorable than you see a lot of horror movies where they come up with these,
You're staring at my horror.
I'm just looking at horror and just looking for
yeah,
ones
an
where you're
example.
like, this means nothing. Like, what is it?
Yeah, yeah. There are plenty of movies, like even like something going back to Dark Age. Like, I mean, that kind of doesn't relate to the story. It just relates to the fact that crocodiles are ancient. Like, that's,
Well, yeah, but that's it's a giant crocodile.
okay, we'll try and think of another one then. I'm working on the fly there, motherfucker.
But like
Go
things
on.
like Let Me In.
Yeah, that's a dumb one. What's fucking Yoga Hoses all about?
I'm just what else is up there? But these names of films that are kind of instantly forgettable. Like you just don't.
Yep.
And from the title you have no idea about what. Like there's like Visitors. Like there's so many films called Visitors that when you call a horror movie Visitors, you're like, oh, well, that's about. And when somebody says it, you think of other films.
Yep.
Or you don't think of any. You don't think of a particular kind of film.
What about Storm Warning?
Sure.
That doesn't make much sense. To a great movie, by the way, but it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, we're rambling now. That'll do.
Blah, 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 blah.
See ya.